Kristaps Porzingis has been an essential part to this Boston Celtics team throughout this entire season. And with that being said, today I'm going to be showing you guys this 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis build that is absolutely insane on NBA 2K24. Let's go. All right, so getting into the My Player Builder, the position is going to be center. Height is going to be 7'3", weight 230 pounds with a 7'3" wingspan. Now you can go larger on the wingspan if you want to. I believe Porzingis has a 7'6" wingspan, but I asked you guys in a community post and you said a Porzingis build needs to have at least limitless range on bronze, so that's why we went with a 7'3" wingspan. Now we are going to start things off in the finishing attribute category, where we have an 86 close shot, which gets us fearless finisher on gold, a 72 driving layup, a 70 driving dunk, which I believe gets us the Karl-Anthony Towns dunk package, along with our 90 standing dunk, which gets you the elite big man standing contact dunks, as well as rise up on gold. And then we're going to have an 85 post control to get post fade phenom on Hall of Fame. Now taking a look at the finishing clips right here, teammates gonna go up with a catch and shoot shot, and then we get the put back dunk. And I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool right here. Hit this guy with the post fade. You see he jumps at that first one, then we go right back into that post, hit him with the fade, fake it, go with the up and under, and you see he's jumping, and now we're getting a free bucket off of it. But yeah, no, this build finishing wise and out of the post is going to be really good. That 90 standing dunk, as many of you guys know, is absolutely insane in this year's game, especially when you combine that with being just super tall on a 7'3". And although matching is not great in this year's game, you can actually match just a little bit on this 7'3". You just got to be smart with the shots that you go up with. And then in the post, this thing is uncontestable. The post hooks, the post fades, the up and unders. It is just so hard to guard a 7'3" that can score out of the post like this. Right here, dude's playing me super high, so we're just gonna speed boost right past him and go up with the Karl-Anthony Towns dunk package into the rim. And as you can see, man, again, you're just going to be a dominant force down low in the paint, and you could drive to the rim as well. You have a 70 driving layup. Once you put on that Zion Williamson layup package, you're gonna be able to get some really good layup animations in the paint. And again, man, this build is so hard to guard out of the post. Those like smaller defenders, like the 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", like defender builds, like usually like your typical like pro-am back end builds, they cannot really hang with this build too much out of the post, because if you are on a 7'3" getting guarded by a 6'8", they have to jump at every shot in order to get a good contest. And if you know that while playing them, that leaves open your up and under game a whole lot on this build. Now I'm not gonna lie to you guys, if 7'3" stretch bigs are just as good as they are next year's game and maybe just a little bit faster, I'll definitely make a 7'3" stretch as one of my first builds on 2K25. Final clip here, just hit a push dribble, go straight to the rim and score with ease and transition. And now let's move on to the shooting, where we have a 90 mid-range shot on this build, which is going to get you badges like open looks on Hall of Fame, blinders, and dead eye on gold. And then as you can see with the 3-point shot, we're going to have an 85, which gets you limitless range on bronze on a 7'3" stretch big, which is absolutely insane. But I don't want to talk in the builder for too long. Let's get straight to the shooting highlights on this build. Dex back to the top of the key for the wide open catch and shoot, and you know Porzingis is knocking that down. Right here, got sharp take, wide open pop, top of the key, catch, fire, goes in again. That's not really top of the key, it's like closer to the hash, but you know what I'm talking about. Here we go, wide open, top of the key once again. Listen, man, no center in this game wants to actually guard a stretch big who can hit super consistently from the top of the key. They do not want to guard it. And this is why I always tell people that make center builds, I don't care how high your perimeter defense goes, you need to upgrade it. I'm tired of seeing center builds and people saying, oh, this center build is really good, and then it's got like 40 perimeter defense. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, dog, if you have to guard a stretch big for one game, he's gonna have a legacy game on you. I hate to break it to you. But again, man, I think these like stretch big builds that sit like top of the key and on the wing are some of the most annoying builds to guard, because most bigs, I mean, I know. Listen, we want to protect the rim. We want to protect the paint. We want to get down there, get some blocks, get some chase downs, defend that paint, get boards, make sure that we can actually get more possessions for our team. But the problem is that if they got a knockdown shooter standing top of the key, and that's the person I gotta guard, that's gonna make it a lot harder for me to protect the rim and actually play as a regular big man. And let's say that big man does not want to guard the stretch big, and they're like, you know what, let's put the 4 on him. I hope that 4's got a lot of defense, because again, we could probably kill him out of the post on this build. So yeah, no, there is no like real weakness to a really good stretch big that can kind of also score out of the post. There really is no offensive weakness to those type of builds. You can argue defensively, since they have shorter arms, they're not going to be as good at protecting the rim or rebounding, but I don't think it is as bad of an issue as people try to make it out to be. Now, when it comes to things like heat check on this type of build, that's what elevates this build to a whole different level, because now you get heat check, which allows you to just shoot whatever you want on this build. We are going to get to those heat check clips in just a second, but look at this right here. Hit them with the pro spin jumper. I do not know when 2K decided to let bigs get pro spin jumper again, but I am super grateful for it because it is the best spin jumper animation in the game. And now that we can get it on bigs, it is pretty insane, especially on like a 7'3" stretch. Now right here, dude's playing me super high. We're gonna hit him with the little cross, then hit him with the spin jumper. Again, that's that pro spin jumper, and it is really good in this year's game. Stop, pop, buzzer beater from deep on this build. That is something you could shoot on the 7'3" stretch right here. Sharp take, shoot from just as deep. Those are the shots that Porzingis shoots anyways. You watch these Boston games and he hits from top of the key, from the hash, from like 27, 28 feet out. But now let's move on to the heat check clips. Dex back middle right here for the buzzer beater. I was expecting it to be contested, but it ended up being an open shot right here. Sharp take, heat check from 30 feet. That is no issue. With this type of build, with this type of shooting, you need to be able to shoot from even deeper than that. So right here, sharp take, heat check. I said, you know what? We're going to cross this over right here. Go and fade it from half court. And it goes in. That's the power of heat check, sharp take on a 7'3" stretch big. One more, catch and shoot, fire it from 31 feet out, and it is cash. Now here is the jumper that we were using for today's video. This is going to be Jonathan Isaac, release 1 Franz Wagner, and release 2 Tim Duncan. This is my personal favorite jump shot that I will be using on all of my bigs that can get it for the rest of the year. It's a good jumper, but now let's move on to the playmaking. All right, so now the playmaking is simple. 75 pass accuracy for Silver break starter, 65 ball handle for Giannis Antetokounmpo, escape package if you are starter 3, as of course you can't get it without it. Then a 40 speed with ball to get us the normal dribble style, which is essential on all big man builds this year. But now for the playmaking highlights, and there aren't going to be too many because again, this is not a Nikola Jokic build. It's not Domantas Sabonis. It's Kristaps Porzingis. He's a decent playmaker, but we're not going to spend 2 minutes just showing passing clips on this video. Okay, right there, pass it to Mark Wahlberg. He then just, yeah. All right, anyways, moving on to the animations we were using on this build. Here are all of them, and yeah, now let's talk about defense. All right, so now for the defense, we're getting an 82 interior defense for post move lockdown on Silver, a 63 perimeter defense, an 87 block, which gets you anchor on Silver, and then an 83 defensive rebound to get you rebound chaser on Silver. Kristaps Porzingis, although he is 7'3", is not the greatest rebounder ever. He's not even really a top 5 rebounder, so we ended up going with Silver rebound chaser because again, if we wanted to get gold rebound chaser on this build, we'd have to upgrade the weight a whole lot. And if we upgraded the weight, we wouldn't have enough vertical for the big man standing contact dunk, so it's kind of best of both worlds if we just go Silver rebound chaser. But now let's get to these defensive highlights. And listen, man, if you thought a minimum wingspan 7'3" couldn't play defense, you are wrong. You are incorrect. We've already gotten 1 snatch block. That's now 2 blocks right here. Guy drives past me. We block him from behind. That's the type of defense you could play on this build. Right here, Koza gets in the dead zone, and then we just come back, grab that. That's another snatch block on this build. Again, that is only an 87 block. Another crazy block right there, pinning it off the glass. He gets the O board. Then we just go for the hands up, contest, and get the stop. Again, man, we're going to be able to do a lot on the defensive end on this build. Since we're 7'3" with a decent wingspan, we could just get a lot of blocks on this build. And since we're also minimum weight, we're a lot faster than your typical 7'3" build. Again, 7'3s are really slow in this game. I do not like that. I do not like how slow they are in comparison to last year's game, but it is what it is. But now here is the build fully maxed out. And again, minimum weight, you still get a 79 strength, which is decent. That's going to get you post move lockdown on Silver, pack down Punisher on Silver. And yeah, that's this build. So now the build is complete, and coming out of the My Player Builder, you are going to get the player comparisons of Kristaps Porzingis, Chet Holmgren, and Joel Embiid, and you are going to get the build name. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm out, man. Peace.